Family courts operate under a mandate to protect children, yet their actual design is built as an arena for combat. The legal architecture of these courts requires two opposing sides to fight over a desired outcome. Because of this setup, the court system spends the vast majority of its time managing the resulting adult disputes, rather than actively monitoring the well-being of the child. This creates an informational vacuum. Judges are routinely forced to make life-altering decisions based on fragmented communication and the highly subjective, conflicting memories of two angry adults. Teachers, pediatricians, and social workers each hold vital information about a child's environment, but their records are completely isolated from one another. When you lack a connected architecture, objective truth is easily drowned out by the noise of litigation. The child is left entirely unprotected in the crossfire of an adult-centered system. This environment is highly vulnerable to coercive control. When abusive individuals know the court relies on he said, she said ambiguity, they weaponize that confusion to exhaust their ex-partners through endless motions and hearings. For the children trapped in the middle, this translates into compounding, long-term psychological trauma. They endure years of instability and manufactured chaos while their parents fight over them. For the professionals involved, the toll is equally severe. Managing these high-conflict cases day after day leads to intense cognitive overload and widespread burnout among judges, social workers, and court staff. This chart shows the macroeconomic fallout. Public expenditures drain quickly as the duration of litigation spikes. And as families spend years locked in court, their trust in the justice system steadily drops. Unless we restructure how these institutions collect evidence and communicate, family courts will continue to generate trauma rather than deliver justice. This is the exact structural problem Doug DeVitre set out to solve with CoTrack Pro. It operates as a new architectural foundation for family justice. Think about the medical field's transition from misplaced paper files to secure, interoperable electronic health records. DeVitre is applying that same leap in data management to family courts. CoTrack Pro pulls all fragmented communication, documentation, and evidence into a single unified environment known as a portable family record. By requiring all parties to use this central hub, the system chronologically organizes every interaction and locks it into an indisputable timeline. This immediate access to verified facts removes the ambiguity that coercive controllers rely on. Manipulative litigants lose their primary weapon when every action and message is perfectly documented and instantly auditable. This transparency creates procedural fairness for self-represented litigants. A parent who cannot afford a lawyer no longer has to struggle with organizing disorganized texts, emails, and receipts to prove their case. Forcing this level of objective documentation steers the courtroom away from litigating subjective memories. It allows judges to act squarely on measurable, verified facts. However, consolidating years of communication and evidence creates a massive influx of data. To make sense of it, the platform uses AI orchestration. Rather than replacing human judgment, human-centered AI acts as an augmentation tool, filtering unstructured evidence into organized insights. Automating this massively reduces cognitive load on judges, bypassing traditional bottlenecks so cases keep moving. By securing data and transparently organizing facts, the system builds safety, trustworthiness, and empowerment into its very architecture. When families understand exactly how their data is handled and see a predictable process, their anticipatory anxiety drops. Court experience becomes far less traumatizing. Ethical AI clears away the overwhelming informational noise. With the administrative burden lifted, human experts can focus entirely on what matters most, the child. We can now envision a child-centered ecosystem. Conflict is minimized, litigation is dramatically reduced, and courts have the actual bandwidth to measure and support child well-being outcomes. Securing this procedural integrity reaches far beyond local family courts. It is an essential step in repairing fractured public trust in our government institutions as a whole. This brings us to Executive Order 11085, which outlines the criteria for the Presidential Medal of Freedom, an award designed to recognize especially meritorious contributions to public service. When we compare Doug DeVitre's work to historical innovators, the systems engineers who built the infrastructure modern institutions now rely on, the parallel becomes clear. We have to ask, does restructuring the family justice system to protect vulnerable youth represent a national contribution of the highest merit? By moving the justice system's focus toward measurable child protection, CoTrack Pro provides a documented model for how civil institutions can evolve.